Hello, Cardinal fans, and welcome to Gameday Cardcast. I'm Shelly Vitanza, the Director of Public Affairs here at Lamar University. And from where I sit, I'm privy to a lot of great things happening at Lamar University, from alumni engagement to student success to research and grants, scholarships, summer camps. All kinds of great things are happening at Lamar University. I'm so proud to wear the red. And I'm glad to be here today with my co-host, Big John Washington. John?
Hey Shelly, it's great to be here. I'm John Washington, the Assistant AD for External over at the Athletic Department, and I'm really glad to be here too. And I think we have another big fan of Lamar and Lamar Athletics, Big Red's joining us.
You know, no event is a Cardinal event without Big Red. It's awesome to have Big Red here. I know that his schedule is super busy and it's getting busier. And it was busy this week because today culminates Spirit Week, where we invited all of our alumni, no matter where they were, to get their Cardinal pride on and participate in some exciting competitions and games all week long. So throughout this broadcast, we're going to be awarding those who competed in these different competitions all week. And we had our Alumni Advisory Board members as well as some students tallying the winners. And so throughout the broadcast, in between the VIP interviews, we're going to be giving out these awards and really looking forward to that. So it's going to be a great action-packed hour here on Gameday Cardcast. We hope you tune in to the entire thing. First, we have a big treat for you. We're going to show you get a sneak peek of the Welcome Center. It's not going to open until a few weeks, early spring, but no one's ever been in it, no one's seen it, and you get to see it right here, right now. It is the Welcome Center, which is the final piece to Lamar University's official front door. Check it out.
My name is Elise Broussard. I'm a graduate student pursuing my MBA at Lamar University. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our new workplace, the Lamar University Welcome Center. We look forward to being the first stop for all visitors on campus and for our guests to learn more about Lamar University. I'm at the west entrance of the Welcome Center facing Rolfe Christopher Boulevard. This area will be beautifully landscaped soon and serve as a focal point for the new sculpture, the Cardinal Column, which was designed by Carter Ernst and Paul Kittleson. This sculpture will be the newest addition to the public art collection at Lamar University, an art collecting initiative that started in 2014. As we enter, you can see that the building is still under construction. Great care is being taken to achieve the LEED certification. Let's go take a look inside and Ibuka will show you around.
Welcome everyone, I'm Ibuka Wonsu and this is the lobby where guests will be greeted. It's bathed in natural light from the walls of windows and from the skylights above. And whether you're here for a formal tour or just need directions to another part of campus, we will be here to help. All our guests are invited to enjoy our coffee bar, take a picture in front of our colorful backdrop, and enjoy art and information displayed around movable displays in the room. And from here, our tour guests will be ushered into our presentation space where they can learn about academic programs, scholarships, financial aid, and admission requirements from an admission counselor. Maddie here will tell you more about this space.
Hi everyone, I'm Maddie. Welcome to our meeting room. The primary function of this room is to share information about Lamar University's programs and admissions. We can accommodate up to 80 guests in this space with a large presentation screen and an additional monitor in the back. From March 2019 to March 2020, we led over 2,000 guests on a guided campus tour and hosted 3,349 more for self-guided tours. That's over 5,500 guests who visited our campus in 1 year. We are excited to host at least that many more each year in this new space. Many of those guests will need some support with the application process, so 5 admissions counselors who serve the Golden Triangle will office here with us. Kelsey is ready to show you the rest of the building.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm Kelsey. I have the really fun job of showing you around here just a little bit. But first, coffee. Here's the coffee bar that Ibuka mentioned earlier. We will also have a water bottle filling station where our guests can fill up their LU water bottle before heading out on tour. Restrooms are through here, and admission counselor offices are down this hall, which ends in a break room. I'm sure lots of information packets and t-shirts will be prepared for mail here, and maybe a little bit of homework during lunch breaks too. As we head to the other end of the hall, we will pass the offices of our Welcome Center director and coordinators before arriving at what I think is the heart of this whole operation, the LU crew room. When we're not hosting a tour, the LU crew will work in one of 12 workstations, making sure a lot of background work is being done. In this space, we will accept approximately 600 calls a month while managing the campus switchboard, make 8,000 additional calls for various campaigns, log thousands of transcripts for processing, handle 7,000 pieces of mail, mostly transcripts, and plan and prepare for 2 open house events and multiple smaller college-specific events. To be completely honest, we'll probably laugh a lot in between calls, tours, and mail run. We'll probably even play a prank or two on each other, and we will even have a best of poll plastered somewhere around this room. We have already declared the best sushi, donut, and Tex-Mex in Southeast Texas. So come by for a visit and we'll be sure to share our list with you.
Yes, we do have the best jobs on campus, don't we? We are so grateful for this fantastic new space where we can do even more to show off the best of Lamar University. Thank you for watching, and please stop by to see us next time you're on campus.
The man with the Welcome Center vision is here with us. Dr. Ken Evans is the 15th president of Lamar University, and he's taken some time to come and share his thoughts about the Welcome Center and how, as well as some other things. He's going to talk about the Welcome Center and how it really fits into the grand scheme for Lamar University's front door. Thank you for being here, Dr. Evans, and tell us about the Welcome Center and the vision for that.
Sure, Shelley. I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to get a view of the center, a little tour. It, unfortunately, you haven't seen it with the graphics in it. It's going to look really cool with those up. Right now, they are actually up. You have an opportunity to see it hopefully shortly. The concept of the Welcome Center was to create a gateway to campus. So the first thing that had to happen was we had to work out a deal with TxDOT to create an entrance and exit off the highway, which they were gracious to do. Then we began planting trees down Rolfe Christopher Drive to create a canopy coming into campus. And of course, the next step, unfortunately, had to be something about the concrete plant had to happen. It was an eyesore, and it was an important part of opening the campus up on that side of the campus area. And then the Welcome Center groundbreaking took place about a year ago. It should be done here shortly. And we'll do a grand opening here hopefully at the end of March. And it will serve as both as a facility for our student recruiters to work out of. It'll also be a place where we can welcome new visitors to campus. And we can also do some, we can take some opportunities when people are visiting campus to sit them down and talk to them a bit about the curriculum on campus and the opportunities that are present at Lamar University. We're excited about having this new gateway to the campus community.
You know, I'm excited just to see progress. It's been one of the toughest years for everyone, but really in higher education, it's been a tough year. Lamar University has navigated the COVID-19 pandemic really well. Dr. Evans, can you talk to us about how Lamar University not only navigated the pandemic, but we increased enrollment?
Well, actually, it wasn't just the pandemic. To some extent, if that had been it, then we would have been on equal footing with a number of the other universities across the country. Remember, we had 2 hurricanes, we had plant explosion, and then on top of that, we had the pandemic. With that said, we entered the spring semester with the expectation of going through the normal routine. We went into spring break and about 2 or 3 days into spring break, we had saw what was happening in Seattle, Washington, obviously what was going on in China. New York City was beginning to experience a high incident rate of COVID. And so we chose to then push spring break out another week. That in turn, shortly thereafter, resulted in us deciding we would go entirely online for the remaining part of the semester. Spent the summer, obviously summer school was also online, and then spent the summer planning how we would handle bringing some form of campus life back in either a hybrid. Some classes were face-to-face, but the vast majority were in some form of either a hybrid or online. The great advantage we had is that almost half of our enrollment was online to begin with. We're good at it. We understand the online modality, and that gave us an advantage as we stepped into this space. And yes, through this whole period of time, our headcount enrollment is up. And in fact, it's at record level. It was at record level this fall, and yet again, record level this spring.
It's a fantastic success story, and I've been so honored to be a part of the collective effort to see students succeed. And I've also been able to hear about the stories of our faculty and alumni who have played a vital role in helping teachers and districts across the country, especially in Texas, move on to online platforms. Has education, you think, been impacted forever as a result of this pandemic? And how do you think higher education will be different, if so, in the future?
Well, we've all done more Zoom meetings probably than we could all tolerate. And the reality of that is that we'll probably do more of those because there's an element of just simply expense management, of avoiding the travel that goes into being in some of these face-to-face meetings. But the piece that is, from an academic standpoint, cognitive processing standpoint, so critical to understand is that most everybody that's watching this went through their high school and ultimately their college degrees, assuming they did so, in what was called synchronous learning. They were in the classroom, they were hearing lectures, they were processing that information, and that in turn resulted in their capability to function in examination environments and then ultimately in their skill set as they left the curriculum. What we've discovered is that asynchronous learners are also important. And so the asynchronous part is being able to repeat stuff and learn it, go back and review it again and again and again. And that's what the online education provides.
Fantastic. Dr. Evans, we need to wrap it up. Sadly, this is your last basketball season. So you're retiring. We're excited for you, sad for us. Tell us one of the things you're most proud of as you leave Lamar University.
Well, I'm most proud of our students and the successes that they have had, both in their careers, whether they ended up going straight into an employment opportunity or they went on to graduate school. We do a marvelous job here at Lamar University, and the faculty obviously are a vital part in making that happen. So are the student recruiters and the staff that supports these students. This is an incredible community of people that are dedicated to the educational process.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and everything that you've done for Lamar University. One of the things that Dr. Evans and First Lady Nancy Evans, who passed away in 2018, did for Lamar University was form a public art committee and help Lamar get more art at the school and place art all over the school. And we're really proud of our art. Kim Steinhagen has put together a great video to tour us through the art at Lamar University. I think you're going to love it. Check it out.
I'm Kim Steinhagen, and I'm here to give you a quick overview of some of the museum-worthy artwork we have placed around the Lamar campus in recent years. As part of the Texas State University system, Lamar is allowed to set aside 1% of the construction cost of new buildings to purchase art. We've had a number of new building projects since 2014, the year First Lady Nancy Evans formed our Public Art Committee. We have added 15 works by very well-known artists since then, with more coming soon. Today I'm going to show you pieces by 3 of the 6 artists featured in the new Science and Technology building that opened in 2019. The showcase of the Science Building is this mosaic mural by Houston artist Dixie Friend Gay. You may have seen Dixie's art at the Bush Intercontinental Airport, Dallas Love Field, or the Woodlands. This mosaic is 12 feet wide by 24 feet tall. It is a gorgeous representation of a site common in Southeast Texas, a body of water with lily pads, lotus flowers, and reflections. From ground level, you see a beautiful abstraction of colors in the lower half of the mosaic. When viewed from the second-story balcony, the entire scope of the lily pad and water image comes into view, including the illusion of rippling water created by the small pieces at the bottom. This project started with a watercolor painting approved by our committee. The tiles were then handmade in Montreal under Dixie's supervision. Each tile was hand-glazed and matched to the colors in the concept painting. The pieces were cut into shapes, then laid out in a pattern on sheets of sticky plastic like a giant jigsaw puzzle. The entire mural was then cut into smaller 3x4 foot sections and shipped to Beaumont. Dixie and a team of 2 took 5 days to apply the sections to the wall and grout the tiles into place. You can learn more about Dixie and see installation photos on our public art website. This painting of 5 egrets is by John Alexander, Lamar's most accomplished art graduate. John's art can be found in the collections of the Smithsonian, the Metropolitan Museum, the Contemporary Museum of Art in LA, the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, and the Bush Library in Dallas. John is best known for his luscious paintings of nature, and we selected this painting because this scene looks so familiar to those of us in Southeast Texas. A cattail marsh filled with great white egrets, a bird we see everywhere, even here on campus. John creates a sense of tension in the painting through an X formation and by facing the birds in different directions. He also gives the birds a sense of personality in their eyes, one playful, one angry, one questioning. Yet all are very aware of you, the viewer, as if to let you know they're not happy about you encroaching into their space. The title, Searching for Evangeline, references a Cajun novel about 2 Acadian lovers who were expelled from their homeland on their wedding day and spent years searching for one another. Next to this painting is a hard-edged steel sculpture by Houston artist Steve Murphy. I love the contrast of the expressionistic painting of John's nature scene next to this industrial-looking sculpture. So different in many ways, yet the brown tones in the cattails are almost exactly the same rusty brown patina on the sculpture. Steve was actually an art student of John's at the University of Houston in the 70s. Steve grew up in Port Neches and took classes at Lamar. He had a very successful career in the engineering field as well as in art. The geometric shapes he uses in his work come directly from engineering drawings. Steve's sculptures are compelling to look at because they seem so off balance. In this case, this large, heavy sculpture appears to be resting on a tiny point and looks as if it could topple over at any moment. This is just an illusion, though. I assure you it is securely anchored to the floor. If you haven't been to the Lamar campus in a while, I hope you'll make an effort to visit when you can to see some of our newest buildings and the art in and around them. Until then, you can learn more about the art on our website, lamar.edu/publicart.
Okay, so you got kind of a preview of some of the art on campus, but you really need to come to campus and take a full tour of all of the art we have on campus, and we'd love to have you anytime. It would be great. Well, you know, John, it's not a Game Day Cardcast without some winners, so we need to award some of our alumni winners who have shown their school pride all week long with the contest that we've had available, and we want to award the favorite tailgate food recipe winner now. John, you know who it is?
I do. Big congratulations to Karen Gunn Martinez, class of 91. Karen is from Netherlands, and she won the contest with her mafleta, hopefully I said that correctly, appetizer recipe. Shelly, Karen, I think is who you need to be tailgating with.
Oh, note to self, I'm going to track Karen down for the next tailgate for sure. I love it. Love me a muffalata too. Congratulations, Karen. That is super exciting. You know, all week long during Spirit Week, we asked businesses in the Southeast Texas area if they would serve as mug giveaway businesses. And so people got to go and get mugs at these businesses. And we just want to recognize them and thank them for opening up their businesses. The Avenue Coffee and Cafe, co-owned by LU alumnus David Poole, class of 2007. The Golden Cup, owned by LU alumna Jana Bartz, class of 2014. Rayo's Bakery, owned by LU alumnus Jake Totoris, class of 1976, and those are locations at Mid-County, Dallin Road, and Calder locations. They all gave away mugs. And then we had several banks and credit unions who opened up and gave us opportunities to give away mugs. They're either have alumni working there, or several of their employees serve Lamar University in volunteer capacity, so we were thankful to them. And those businesses included Community Bank of Texas, Education First Federal Credit Union, First Financial Bank, and Mobile Oil Credit Union. Thank you so much for being Cardinal-centric and hosting our mug giveaway. It was a great week, and we just love you in a big red way. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. An alumni of Lamar University. She didn't graduate from Lamar, but you would think that with her spirit that she is an alum. Kathy, we appreciate you being with us, and tell us what makes you so crazy about Lamar University.
You know, my husband and I bought our first season tickets to basketball in 1989, and we have been season ticket holders in one way or another ever since then. And we've become so involved. My husband's in the Cardinal Club, now the Bud Leonard Athletic Fund. He's on the board there. I'm on the board of the Lamar Foundation. We are members of the Legacy Society, the President's Circle. I am a member of the Women in Philanthropy that Dr. Evans' wife started before she passed away. And it just seems we spend so much time out here that this is home for us.
I love it. You're just involved in a few things. We really like that, and we appreciate that so much. So what do you love about LU sports?
You know, there's nothing like a live game, be it basketball, football, whatever. It's a lot of fun. It's just the camaraderie of the crowd, the kids. It's so much fun that you have to want to be there.
I'm with you. It's a lot of fun. The showcase of Southeast Texas, the cheer, the dance, all that is great. Now, we haven't seen that in a while, but in a few weeks, we will get to see our Cardinal football team on the field. How do you feel about that, Kathy? Are you anticipating Cardinal football?
Absolutely. We've already got our tickets, and we're just waiting to be able to sit in our seats again and enjoy being with the crowd. I know it's going to be limited, but we're going to be there.
I love it. Kathy, now I hear there's you've been involved in the past in homecoming and with the Corvettes. Can you tell us about your involvement with the Corvettes and Lamar and how all that goes together?
Yes, what we ended up doing, I was on the scholarship committee for the Tri-City Corvette Club, and at one time we were giving scholarships to high school students. Then we decided we would be better served to give them to a Lamar student. And so in the course of doing that, we set up a scholarship in the club's name. And then as that followed, then we started volunteering the Corvettes for all of the parades, particularly homecoming here. And so we're here with our Corvettes every time Lamar calls.
I love it. We thank you for that. We thank you and Buzz for all of your support, and we distinguish you, Kathy, as a Cardinal super fan. Congratulations. You got any words for Cardinal fans out there today?
Absolutely. Lamar is such an important part of Southeast Texas, and sports have always been a large part of Southeast Texas. And what better way is it to support both of them than to become involved?
Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for all that you do, and we want to recognize you as a Cardinal super fan and give you this token of our appreciation for all that you do. Congratulations. We appreciate you and Buzz, and we love you in a big red way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, John, Kathy's a Cardinal fan in the biggest, reddest way. What do you say about that?
I think it's awesome. Really appreciate you, Kathy. Thank you for being a huge fan and supporting us, and hopefully we can get some more fans just like you filling up the stands on Saturdays and Thursdays and Fridays and all the days. Well, I think it's time again for another alumni winner. We have the cutest LU themed pet winner. I think we got a picture that we're going to put up here, so get ready for that all moment. The winner this year is Whitney Evans Williams, class of 2005 of San Antonio, for her entry with dog Basil. Congratulations, Whitney and Basil. Thank you for participating. So up next we have a video. We got our chance to go down to Houston for the official WAC announcements, and we put a little something together to give you a little bit of behind the scenes of the announcement for the WAC and the official signing. So we're going to play that, and then right after we come back, we're going to talk to Athletic Director Marco Born about Lamar University's transition to the WAC and what you guys can expect coming up soon.
As our friends, and I want to bring up my new friend, the WAC Commissioner, Mr. Jeff Hurd. Please give him a round of applause. We can do that in 2021.
We're here to announce 5 new institutions coming to the Western Athletic Conference. Originally, the effective date of July 1, 2022, but put an asterisk by that date, and I'll get to that in more detail here in a little bit. And during my time in the WAC is not only the most significant, but also the most impactful of any of the previous ones. And it's not even close. This is not a routine announcement. This is a historic announcement for the conference. It's a move that charts an aggressive and exciting course for the conference. It's a move that will enhance the competitive experiences of all student athletes in the conference, in all sports. It's a move that positions the conference for future growth and success. And it's a move that provides stability to the conference in what everybody knows are very uncertain times. And therefore, I'm thrilled to make the official announcement right now of the addition of the 5 quality first-class institutions to soon to become members of the Western Athletic Conference. And they are Southern Utah University, Lamar University, Sam Houston State University, Stephen F. Austin University, and Abilene Christian University. And in football terms, there's been a sudden change. And that sudden change happened on Tuesday. And if you're probably aware of it, and if you're not, it's simply a situation where the 4 Texas institutions have been, their exit from the Southland Conference has been expedited. And we have every intention from the WAC standpoint to bring them in as members in 21, 22. And finally, and also very importantly, it brings football back under the WAC umbrella for the first time since the conclusion of the 2012 season. That's a big step for the WAC, it's a big step for our member institutions, and I'm thrilled about it.
At this time, I ask the 5 new presidents to open up your WAC portfolios there. There's a certificate, and let's get you guys in the WAC. As they say on Twitter, hashtag welcome to the WAC.
Me here. You know, it's a great opportunity for us to be part of a terrific brand of the Western Athletic Conference. They have a, as we know, a very historic brand. They used to play football back in the day and won the Fiesta Bowl at Boise State and with Boise State, and so it's an exciting time for us to join the WAC. You know, a lot of new opponents. Some of them are familiar with us, certainly with the Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston State, Abilene Christian. That we already had in the Southland, but just some new opponents. We'll be traveling to the West a little bit more. Our basketball tournament will be in Las Vegas rather than Katy moving forward. So a lot of exciting opponents, a lot of opportunity for our student athletes to see some different areas of the country that they may have not been to. And I think just we'll be part of a league that has like-minded institutions that are committed to Division I athletics, and they're growing. All of the institutions in the league are growing in enrollment. They all are in media markets that are growing. They're all in areas where the population is growing. If you look at the states of Texas, Arizona, Utah in particular, those 3 states are one of the fastest growing states in the country. So overall, that's one of the main reasons we're joining, and we're excited and can't wait for July 1 of this summer.
Can you speak a little bit about the conference alignment? You know, obviously the Texas schools are going to play the Texas schools, but can you talk about how that will work?
Yeah, so we'll be part of the Southwest Division, or I call it the Texas Division right now. It's us, Stephen F. Austin, Abilene Christian, Sam Houston State, Tarleton State, and UTRGV that are in the league, in our division. And then the other division, the West Division, has 7 other institutions. And we'll be competing mainly in our division for most of our sports except for football and basketball. So the volleyball, soccer, baseball, and softball, I'm sorry, we'll be competing only within the division to reduce travel costs, and then they'll be playing in the against the other division in the conference tournament. Basketball will cross over some to the other division just because of basketball does have some revenue generation behind it, and we felt like that was okay to do there from a travel standpoint. And football will play everybody. The institutions that will play football is again the 4 Texas institutions I mentioned that are leaving the South and go to the WAC: Tarleton State, Dixie State in Utah and Southern Utah is going to join in 2022. And then UTRGV has agreed to add football in 2 years. So we'll have 8 football playing institutions very soon, and then we're looking for a 9th one to round that out for football.
I think one of the big questions that I've heard, at least, has been about FCS and FBS. And I know that we have some FBS schools that are in the WAC, and obviously the majority are FCS. So can you talk a little bit about what that difference is and how you know the WAC is going to accommodate for that, and then maybe give us a little bit of insight of what the future thinking is.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot from our fans asking about FBS football. I think when we added football 12 years ago, everybody was looking forward to go to FBS, which that's the football bowl subdivision. So if you look in the state of Texas, A&M, Texas, those bigger institutions play at the FBS level. We're at the FCS level, which is the football championship subdivision. So we will compete at the FCS level. There's one other institution, New Mexico State in the WAC, that we will compete again in all of our sports except football. They play at the FBS level. So that's the difference with that. The difference between FBS and FCS is really scholarships. FBS at 85 and we have 63. We will very quickly study if FBS is feasible for us in the near future, maybe 5 to 10 years down the road. We need to start winning some games at the FCS level and compete there. So long term, I think there's an opportunity to explore that, but for now we're excited to play FCS football with the other institutions, but it certainly helps having an FBS school in the league.
All right, we'll wrap it up with one more question. What kind of things can fans expect with this move in terms of competition, you know, having games on ESPN, streaming, and just being a member of the WAC as an institution?
Yeah, I think overall we're all going to have to step up our game, not just our students, student athletes and coaches, but our staff. You know, you and I have talked about this as well. Our competition is going to be stronger. And our competition is also going to be stronger on the alumni side. I think our alumni and donors are going to have to step up. We have terrific facilities here at Lamar, but when you look at some of the other institutions, Grand Canyon, New Mexico State, I mentioned, they have terrific and beautiful facilities. So we're going to have to keep that arms race going, and so that's one thing we're going to have to step up with. And but we're committed to that, and I can't wait to be part of WAC and step up our game in that regard.
Well, Marco, really appreciate you coming and talking to us today, clearing up a few things, hopefully, for everybody. And Shelly, what do you think about the WAC and LU this upcoming year?
You know what, John? I just feel the red and white rally rumbling on toward us. I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it, and I really can't wait. I want to play. I'm ready for football to start, that's for sure. I know we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But before we do that, let's recognize Julie Mooneyham Guidry, class of 2007. I think we've got a picture of Julie and her son, future Cardinal Andrew, cheering on the Cardinals to win the Alumni Spirit Sign Contest. Congratulations, Julie and Andrew. Hope we can put a picture of them up. We had so many alumni participating in our contest this week. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely, and congratulations, Julie and Andrew. And up next, we're going to give you a little bit of an insight to how football coach Blane Morgan prepares for just a day of practice. And then when we come back from that, we're going to talk to Coach Blane Morgan about the upcoming season.
Let's set aside a team, whatever that block is, and it can be, you know, to me it could be like on a Thursday. Practice is the perfect time. You get through Thursday practice, and as either position or size of the ball or however we do it, you know, there is a concerted team, you know, position stretch afterwards, and you give them the layout of what that looks like. Keurig a plug. Oh, I need some water. Leaning into those blinds, man. Head coach will be full of excitement. We got Kristen and me. Practice today, real quick. Going to practice today. The only thing that is different, period one, Coach Gibson's recommendation, we're going to get practice started. Okay, we're going to go OVD. We'll call it on offense, call it on defense. We'll go, let's go three play blocks, and we'll just call it. We'll go 1s, 2s, 3s. So it'll be 9 plays, break, okay? And we'll try to make it as tempo kind of, we'll just try, everything won't be super fast, but the whole deal is get going, rev up, play. That's Brody's favorite too. Whatever. Can we just go, like last night, hey, can we just go get some fast food? I'm like, no! You crazy? Don't Chipotle.
Joined now by head football coach Blane Morgan. Coach, we're going to jump right into it. Now that we got to kind of see how you prepare for every day and everyday practice, how have you guys been preparing for this pretty unprecedented situation with this spring football season?
It seems like every day in the fall the schedule changed, and so I think coming into this spring and really October, November, we've gotten a little bit more of a normal schedule. And so that's been refreshing. And then preparing this spring, what you do is you just kind of flip the seasons. Instead of spring ball, we did fall ball. And instead of our season in the fall, we're going to turn around and do that this spring. I think what it really helped us do is really concentrate on this recruiting class. And we signed a great one. And that was a lot of fun, but we're certainly looking forward to getting on the field here in 2 weeks from today, and then just seeing what we have more than anything else.
Yeah, and since you mentioned it, can you talk a little bit about that signing class? It was a pretty large class, I think, between the early signing day and this signing day. So can you talk about the excitement you have for these new guys coming in?
Yeah, we couldn't have signed a larger class. We maxed that out. We went max capacity on the high school kids in this recruiting class. And so I think when you talk about the recruiting class, we signed 30 high school players, and that's the maximum number we can have. You talk about balance from the O-line to the D-line, DBs, running backs. We actually signed 3 or 4 quarterbacks that will play other positions, but I'm a little bit privy to quarterbacks, being a former one myself, and so we're ecstatic about our signing class. I really tip of the hat to our staff. They did a wonderful job, and so those guys worked hard, and it's kind of a culmination of a year, 12 months in the works. So. We're excited. Those guys don't get here till the summer, and so they will be high school kids, and so they're a ways away from being able to be functional, good college football players. But at least we're going to have a very talented group of young players to work with come this summer and into next fall.
Absolutely. With athletics moving into the WAC this summer, can you talk a little bit about what your expectations are, what you're looking forward to, and the opportunities that can bring the program?
I think the most exciting part is really joining a new brand and really having a new start. Because when people throughout the country hear the WAC conference, they really, their mind goes back to really the history, and it's a conference I actually played in. And so that means something personally to me, but I think the brand itself and expansion west, so an opportunity for our guys to maybe see parts of the country that they have never been to. And then with that comes new rivalries and new opponents and just established rivalries, just continuing to play those guys. But I'm excited just for the opportunity to expand and to possibly, if we can have some success, possibly move into the FBS, which is a football bowl subdivision.
So I think you've been here for a little bit over a year now, and obviously a lot of that's been spent in quarantine, unfortunately, and being in lockdown. But despite that, how have you liked Beaumont so far and the things that you have been able to do, and maybe speak to some of the things that you're looking forward to do once we kind of get out of this situation, and also how's the family been settling in?
Yeah, Mandy, Brody, and Camille, that's my crew. They have adjusted so well to Beaumont, and really it's just really been a breath of fresh air because I was telling someone this the other day, you don't have to get on a major road, a major highway to go to work, and so that's awesome. Just really being when you're driving home, just to be able to relax, and the people in the community have been welcoming in our church community, have welcomed us with open arms, and so this community, I can't say enough about just how warm it's been for us, and just the time with family because of how we've been quarantined. You just can't, we won't ever get that time back, and so it's been really special.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you joining us today. We're really looking forward to the season coming up here in, I think, about 2 weeks now. Countdown is coming up upon us, so thank you for coming. And Shelly, how are you? Are you ready for football to start this year?
Yes, enough already. Coach Morgan and his team have been, off the field since he got here, December 2019, and I'm ready. The countdown has definitely begun. You know what, John? I think Brandy Fort Wolf, class of 2010, is ready for a little red and white pigskin action too. She is our alumni winner of the LU Get Your Red On contest. Congratulations, Brandy Wolf. We appreciate you and appreciate you being involved in our contest this past week. While football has been postponed through the pandemic, there's still been a lot of student programming going on at Lamar University, and we've got Kanan Daniels. He's Associate Director for Programming and Events at the Setzer Student Center. He's going to be here to talk about student programming through the pandemic. But first, get your pom-poms out because we are going to do a little bit of cheer. B-I-G-R-E-D. Oh, yeah, I'm just a wannabe, but I would do a flip-flop if the camera could get it in. I really would, yeah. So I can't wait for cheer 2 weeks from today. Along the football lines, we're going to see our Lamar University cheer and all the other, the band and the dance, and it's all going to come together February 20th. We hope you join us. In studios now, we've got Kanan Daniels, and you know what? He's got a great job working with our students in our beautiful Setzer Student Center. It's really the hub of student activity. He gets to schedule programs and events and work with the students on what they want. And Kanan, programming has been so different because of COVID-19. Can you talk to us about how you've managed through the pandemic?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I think with programming, a lot of people have asked me what's been going on with programming. Has it felt a lot different? What kind of programs are you even having? Have you had to cancel your entire lineup? I can honestly say with working with students that it seems a lot similar than what we've done in the past, but just a lot safer. Last week or a couple weeks ago, we did a Stuff a Plush animal event. When typically we have over 300 students right in the line taking up the entire student center. But we've had to think more consciously and think more proactive about how we can keep our students safe. So we have a new platform called LU Hub where students can actually register for events. So we've been doing time slots, having students come in smaller groupings. Every student's been wearing masks. I think it's been a great semester so far with our programming that we've had. But actually looks a lot similar, just a lot safer.
Any unique challenges that you've had to overcome? I mean, we've all had to change things up so much. Any big challenges that you've really kind of had to overcome?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is trying to figure out what you can do and how you can do it safely. Yeah.
And programming, Kanan, have the students been receptive to the changes, kind of the alternative changes? Are they open to wearing their mask and doing the time slots and things like that? You know,
I'm actually entirely surprised. It's exciting to see our students that are coming to campus. They're all wearing masks even when they're walking outside. Whenever they're hanging out with their friends, they're all practicing social distance. With our events on campus, we've had no issues. We provide masks, hand sanitizer at all of our events, but our students come prepared. They're already wearing their mask. Last night we had a roll-bound skating event where students were skating around our indoor hockey arena on campus. And even doing an exercise event like that, they were wearing their masks the entire time and being safe.
I saw that. I really wanted to kind of come to that. That looked fun. So what's in our future? Tell us about some fun events that are coming up.
Yeah, so next Friday we're having a Lunar New Year event with our Vietnamese Student Association. The Monday after that we're going to be having a Black History Month 101 mobile museum. And then hopefully coming up soon in March we're going to be having our Greek Week.
And how can people learn more about the events that are going on at LU?
Yeah, so we got a new student organization portal called LU Hub. People can go to it at lamar.edu/LU Hub. And anyone from the Beaumont surrounding community, even students and faculty and staff, can all access it and see what our students are doing on there.
Kanan, thanks so much for all the information. You know, events, programming at Lamar is easy to plug into, and we're so thankful to have you in that position to keep great events happening on our Lamar University campus. We're going to hear more about programming, specifically Greek life, but we're going to get into a little more spirit with the Showcase of Southeast Texas. see the showcase of Southeast Texas. I can't wait to see them live and in person, especially twirlers. I was a twirler. I'm partial to twirlers. They're awesome. So good. I can watch them all the time. So I've got with me Oris Granger. He's Greek Council President and member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Oris, welcome. We're glad you're here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, first off, thanks for having me, guys. My name, like you said, my name is Oris Granger. I reside here in Beaumont, Texas. I'm a senior industrial engineering major. I hold multiple leadership positions around Lamar University. I serve as the Greek Council President. I serve as the Vice President of the Upsilon Theta chapter of Omega Psi Phi. Also serve as the 9th District 2nd Vice District Representative. I'm the Vice President of NAACP and also the Senator for the National Society for Black Engineers around Lamar University.
Wow, big overachiever. You're amazing. So glad to know you. So what's it been like this past semester to be a student here at Lamar University because of this pandemic?
I feel like it's been very interesting. You know, it's been a lot of different things, a lot of unique things been going around. We've been able to, you know, just basically use a lot of ingenuity to enhance the productivity around Lamar and try to maximize our, you know, our capacity of events, just to make sure that we keep the Greek life on campus, you know, a thing, and to just make sure we just follow all the COVID-19 protocols and everything.
Ingenuity. I mean, I think that's one of the key words from this last year. We've all had to be creative, innovative, improvise, all of those things. With the Greek community relying on recruiting and retaining members, how has the Greek community adapted to this pandemic, Oris?
I feel like the Greek community, it's been I feel like a structural change. But like you said, we've been very innovative. We've been throwing, you know, different events, whether it be virtual or in person, just trying to find a way to, you know, actually give out our mandated programs, give out our initiatives, and also still uphold the traditions of our fraternity and making sure that we're well maintained and also being safe within the COVID-19 protocols.
Exactly, perfect. So I think hopefully we're turning final on this pandemic. Any exciting events coming up in the future?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have the Upsilon Theta chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated on February 25th at 4:30 p.m. We're having our annual Black History program, but this year we're actually putting a twist to it. Usually we have it in the sets of students in a ballroom, but this year is actually going to be a Stand for Black History March, where we have all Black organizations around Lamar University participate, and it's just going to be a march just standing for our Black history here at Lamar University and also around the world. And also on behalf of Greek Council, our annual Greek Week will be coming up in March 6th through the 12th, so be on the lookout for that also.
Yeah, you guys are so busy on campus. We're so glad to have you here. If someone wants to get involved, Oris, how can they do that? We're going to wrap up if you can tell us real quick.
If you want to get involved, I feel like follow all organizations' social media platforms, and also you can utilize LU Hub to look at all the new events, and, you know, just walk around the sets of Student Center, you know, get engaged, network, and just talk and just meet new people. And I feel like that's the best way to find out about things around campus.
Amazing. Oris, we really appreciate you being here. And you've got that Cardinal spirit that we really love. John, we've had some other people have big Cardinal spirit this week. Can you tell us about that?
Well, Shelley, during Spirit Week, the LU Office of Alumni Affairs made a few stops and prize patrols in the community, and made a few stops at some local businesses, which thank you to all the local businesses, and I want to go ahead and name you guys off. So the Beaumont Convention and Visitors Bureau, Deluxe Chauveau Salon, co-owned by LU student Gina Taylor, Down to Earth, owned by Van Land 01 and 03, Edgar Kiker and Cross, PC with shareholders Sherry Delmage, class of 0103, Josh LeBlanc, class of 08, Charlotte Yates, class of 01, and recently retired former shareholder Gary Zimmerman, class of 77. We also want to thank the Edgerly Dentistry, owned by Dr. Alex Edgerly, class of 13, the Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce, M&D Supply, owned by Brent Dyson, class of 04 and class of 17, Merrily Norman Studio in Bridge City, owned by Erica Roan, class of 16, Norman's Menswear, owned by Jason Norman, class of 94, Reality Depot of Texas, owned by Brandon Johnson, class of 08, Summit Electric, Tito Farmers Insurance Agency, owned by Tito, class of 08, and Texas Regional Title, the owner is Ken Whitlock, luckily married to LU grad, class of 79, Rebecca Hawthorne Withlow. Their marketing director, Kendra Coleman Broussard, class of 19, is an LU grad, and they employ several other LU grads. So thank you, and if that's not enough community spirit with all the support from the community, we also have a little video of the LU dance team.
Dance team.
Dance team is awesome. They're super spirited. In keeping with our spirited theme, we've invited one of our most spirited Cardinals, LU Ambassador Landon Richards, to talk to us today about everything he's involved in on the LU campus, and it's a lot. He's super busy, and Landon, we're so thankful that you could be here. Talk to us about what you're involved in on the LU campus.
Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you so much for having me. Usually I'm really booked and busy, but one of my favorite things that I love to do is being an ambassador for Lamar University. I grew up coming to the football games and everything, and now that I'm in college, it's so cool to be able to speak highly of my university. And I've had great opportunities, such as being on the news earlier this week and doing what I'm doing right now. But whenever I'm not with the ambassador program, I am helping SGA because I am on the PR team. So I help come up with flyers for digital signage, I help run the social media, and I create and edit videos for SGA as well. And speaking of editing videos, I also work for the Office of Marketing Communications, and that's where I learned all of what I'm doing with video creating and how to properly interview people. So shout out to Kevin and Hannah, and also to you, Shelly, for teaching me everything that I know. I absolutely love what I'm doing. I have the opportunity to interview faculty, students, and staff members through my show called Connecting with Cardinals. That is one of my favorite things to do on campus. And I am also, let me think, I'm also involved with the Relentless LU crew through my church, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. And I feel like I'm missing a few things, but I think for the most part, we're good.
You're blowing us away. That's a lot. Why? Why do you get so involved in things? What's the benefit?
Well, to be honest, my freshman year in college, I really didn't do much of anything. And I really realized that I was missing out on so much. And it all started whenever I started getting involved with orientation as an orientation leader. That completely changed my experience, because whenever you are involved in something, you become more, you end up loving your university more. You end up making connections with people, and that's whenever the memories truly make, you know, a mark in your mind.
Love it, Landon. Lamar has hundreds of organizations and clubs for students to get involved in, but sometimes it can be hard to navigate. Landon, how can students navigate the organizations? How can they find out what's out there and what they can do?
Well, honestly, social media is so huge these days. We have our own social media page, our Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're even on TikTok. So if you're not following Lamar University, what are you doing? Go ahead and give us a follow. Also, we know that CAB, you can follow CAB on social media. They post different events that they have going on. And also we have LU Hub. That's where you can find out a lot of information about the different organizations on campus. And also talk to your friends, find out what they're doing, because if you're, you know, pretty friendly with your friends, chances are you would love to join them in whatever they're doing as well.
Landon, you got that Cardinal spirit we love. We thank you so much for everything that you do. Love working with you on a daily basis in our marketing communications office, and it's just good to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John, it's been a great day, and really enjoyed our VIP interviews and also recognizing our alumni who participated in Spirit Week. Did you know that in Southeast Texas there are approximately 450, maybe a little more, a little less, businesses that are owned by LU alumni?
That's amazing, and just big thank you to all the businesses and all the winners, and they're, you know, all these businesses are great, and hopefully we can continue to expand that here in the future. I think it's time to get to some picks. We got a couple of games coming up here in the college basketball world, and I think we'll go ahead and get started with Tennessee versus Kentucky, but we were going to bring in a special guest to pick with us. Big Red's back. All right,
Big Red is back. All right, who we picking?
Well,
you picking, John?
I'll go first.
Big Red's picking LU. Well, wait. We got another. LU's not playing in all the games. Big Red, hang on.
Big Red's really excited about LU, so we'll excuse it. But all right, first game, Tennessee versus Kentucky. So Tennessee is 12-4, and they are ranked number 11, and Kentucky is 5-11. So you know what? I think I got to go with Tennessee.
You know what? I agree. Volunteers versus Wildcats. It's, you know, an old SEC rivalry. I like singing Rocky Top, so let's just go with Tennessee.
I like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Big Red. Tennessee. Big Red agrees. Okay.
All right. Let's go to Duke versus North Carolina. So this is a big one. It's probably going to be a big, well-watched game this week, tonight. So I think both teams are doing okay. UNC has a better record at 11-6. Duke is 7-6. But you know what? One of my coworkers, Dee, with the Bud Leonard Athletic Fund, she actually used to work at Duke, so I'll pick Duke on this one.
two great coaches, unranked teams. I like the Blue Devils over the Tar Heels. I'm gonna go with them. Big Red, you? Duke for the win. Big Red says Duke. All right.
All right, I guess we'll go on conference here. So we got Sam Houston versus Nichols. Sam Houston is 8-6 and Nichols is 9-4. But you know what? Sam Houston has been 8-0 at home, and they are the home team. And you know what? On top of that, our engineer / producer over here, Silas, actually graduated from Sam Houston. So you know what? For him, I'll pick Sam Houston.
Yeah, I'll pick Sam Houston too, but not for those reasons. They're a Texas team. You got to go for the Texas team, John. Get your priorities straight. I'm going for the Bearcats. And Big Red, LU. Yeah, LU. Between Sam Houston and Nichols, he's going.
I guess LU's always the winner.
There you go. Right? Always the winner. All right. What else we got?
All right. So we're going to go down to the NAIA, the GPAC conference. We have Concordia of Nebraska versus Dakota Wesleyan, and you know what? I think I'm going to go with Dakota Wesleyan. I like that name better.
Oh, well, you didn't have any any stats for that
one?
Well,
okay, so Dakota Wesleyan is 16-5. They're 12-4 in conference, and Concordia of Nebraska is 4-8, and they're 11-6 in conference. So, you know, I'll give the upset to Concordia of Nebraska.
Okay, well, if you can go for a Bulldog, you go for the Bulldog. I'm going for the Concordia Bulldog. Go Concordia. Look, let me get my, there we go. Because of the Bulldog. And Big Red, Concordia.
All right, and our last game, I think the most important one here.
Oh.
You got the Cardinals versus Abilene Christian. Well, I think this one's going to be a pretty easy one for us, so I'm going to go ahead and just call this one on.
Yeah, I'm going to follow Big Red's lead and just kind of like give the old toss to Abilene. There we go. Perfect. Go LU. Lamar's going to win this one for sure. We love it. All right. Go Cards. Go Cards. We are LU. Thanks for listening. Gameday Cardcast was a great time. We really appreciate everybody being a part of it. And we hope to see you February 20th for football at Lamar University. It's going to be great.